On the occasion of our second annual My Brother's Keeper Summit, as the title indicates, that's self-explanatory. We are our brother's keeper. We have an obligation and a responsibility to reach back, to reach forward, and to bring our young brothers together and to help build them up, to edify them, and to pave a positive future for them. This second annual summit is about that, but this is not just a summit for the sake of having a summit. This is a summit for coming together and planning out the next action steps to go forward. On Monday, I'll be bringing before the board a resolution that will commit this school district to the kinds of things that will reduce the disproportionately high suspensions and expulsions that are happening in our school district. We know they're there, we admit they're there. We're going to do the kinds of things to bring restorative practice back to our code of conduct. So two things will happen. A new code of conduct that has restorative practice built into it in terms of not only just dealing with the consequence that some students may make if they make a bad decision, but how do we restore them and bring them back and make sure that they're on the right course for a good career and college readiness experience. Then we're going to have a resolution that says this district is going to reverse a trend of disproportionality. We're going to take the action steps and we're going to hold ourselves accountable by monitoring and measuring how we're doing and come back to the board and the community with progress reports on how we're doing with regard to that. So this summit is about planning the next action steps. It's the one thing to get together and to do a plan and to have a great time, which this summit's about, but the next thing to do is to put those ideas that we come up with at this summit into action. We're fully committed to doing that. We're going to reach new heights. We're part of a national movement of My Brother's Keeper and addressing the issues of the pipeline to prison and My Brother's Keeper. So we're going to continue doing that, and we hope that you will join with us in your own way in helping and make sure that our young people have what they need to succeed.
If you look at your potential right now, you have your whole life ahead of you and the purpose that you can live for. It's all about the choices you make. As a judge on a daily basis, unfortunately, when I come on the bench and sit down, the vast majority of my audience looks like this. And when I say it looks like this, the people are sitting in the audience, they look like me, talk like me, and they're from my community. That is something I would really, really like to change. So it's all about choices. You got a choice to get that education, or you got a choice you can go to prison. I think the education is a better choice. Because one of the things I live for, I tell people all the time, I'm Eleanor's son. And for Eleanor, that is my pride and joy. Eleanor's my mother. And my pride and joy is to take care of my mother. That's what I live for.
Once I found out exactly what I wanted to do, I seen it every single day. And I believed in it like I believed in my first and last name. My first and last name is Julius Williams. So if somebody would have told me when I was 8, 9, 10 years old that you would not go to the NFL, I would have looked at them like they called me a whole different name. Like they told me my name was Anthony Smith. That's how much I believed that I would go to the NFL. And after I found that vision, I did everything in my power to look at that vision every single day. So then we talk about decisions. Every time you wake up in the morning, you have a choice of decisions you make. You can make good decisions, or you can make not even good decisions. You can make rational decisions towards your future, or you can make decisions that are going to hinder you from what you're going to do in the future.
I mean, you talk about phenomenal, you talk about just great, awesome. When we want to say that we can't get almost 1,000 African-American men in the same place. They weren't fighting, they weren't after each other, there were no guns, there was no cussing, no fussing. We're talking about a phenomenal issue that we were able to come together and work on. All the issues that you can think about, all the things that our young men can come together. They were attentive, they were all in unison, all together, all working toward the same cause. When you talk about being our brother's keepers, these young men most certainly have shown that they can be, and they will be their brother's keeper.
This was a fantastic presentation by my brother's keeper and the school system. They did a great job of soliciting young men to come in on a Saturday to participate in this event. The transportation component was great. High schools from all over DeKalb County were represented. It was also amazing to see a large number of very young people, elementary and middle school kids here. I think the breakout sessions were great. The participation was fantastic. The students were more than cooperative. It's a fantastic opportunity for them to be able to glean from young men and who have been involved in the intervention prevention aspect of day-to-day life here in DeKalb County.
On Love and Hip Hop, I've represented Lil Scrappy, I've represented Benzino, I've represented NBA, NFL players, and I tell you one thing, that if you don't listen, to the folks that brought you here, to the folks that are supporting these programs, you'll find out how tricky life can be and how hard it is when you get yourself in some trouble, how to get out of it.
Today's event was powerful. Not only did we have an increase in the number of students, but we also saw an increase in the number of parents, staff members of DeKalb, and community stakeholders. It was a great showing of support and emphasis on the importance of this type of situation and the crisis that we face with our males in society.
Jesse Milner, I teach math at Clarkson High School. I am a product of DeKalb County as well, graduated from McNair High School. Mr. Smith, I've also seen you play, big fan. My students all the time say, I hate math. That's the first thing they say. So I want you guys to explain to them how important math is in terms of making money, understanding how can you spend your money, how to invest your money, because a lot of students, they say, I hate math, but I'm trying to explain to them, math is money.
Math is the most prevalent subject that you will use in life after school. Like, language arts is cool, but if you want to make money, trust me, like Anthony just said, if you're not a good math person, then you're probably not going to want to count your own money if you make a lot of money. So you're going to turn it over to somebody else to manage your money for you. And if you can't count and if you don't pay attention to your numbers, you're going to get to it. People are going to take money from you in business. If you're an athlete, you go to the NFL or NBA, your financial advisor is going to take money from you. Because when you're not a math person, people know it. And when people manage your money and you're not a hands-on person and you can't count and you don't know how to manage money, they're going to know it. And they're going to be licking their chops. They're going to be very excited that they met you because they know you got this one person who's not interested in math, so I'm going to take him for as much money as I can get from him.
And so if you look at some of it, I'm going to ask you all to Google a couple things, right? Because I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time with it, but I want you to pull up the code of thug life. The code of thug life. C-O-D-E, code, right? So if you look it up, what you'll find is that Tupac says that there are two things that if you engage in thug life, there are two things that are guaranteed. Tell me what one of them is, brother. What you think one of them is? Death, and what's the other one? Jail, right? But I know some of y'all are saying, man, Pac, he was tripping. You're like, that's only if you get caught, right? So let me give you an example. You with me, bro? You with me? You gonna talk to them or let me talk to you? All right, thank you. So here's what happened 3 weeks ago. There was a group of guys running through, kicking doors, jumping through these drive-through windows and robbing folks. You know how many they got away with? 50. They got away with 50 robberies, right? 50, 5-0. And so they would jump through the window, they'd rob, and they think they'd get away with it, right? So now, what happened? Again, the code of thug life says what has to happen. All right? So how long do you think for 50 armed robberies you get to go to jail? The rest of your life.
Okay, first of all, let me just thank everyone who had anything to do with this, starting from our leader, Dr. Green, Dr. Rasmussen, Dr. Tinsley, all of the guests, but more importantly, even the parents and the young people that came out today. This was amazing. We had an opportunity to really impact some lives and our future and our young people. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. I think that this year was actually the best year we had, and possibly because we had something to build on and we had a lot of energy from our young people. So thank you again for allowing us to be a part of My Brother's Keeper. The Stewart Foundation is honored to be a part of the DeKalb County Schools as well as the My Brother's Keepers Task Force. and look for bigger and better even next year and throughout the year. So this won't be the last thing that we do. We'll be working throughout the summer and throughout the next school year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Terry Moore, and I'm here for my brother's keeper. Excellent event. I had a great time speaking to the kids about the music industry. Hopefully they got the knowledge and the information, but it was an honor to be here.
We really kind of focused on careers in the music industry that were ancillary, based on reading, writing, counting. We talked about accountants. We talked about being a lawyer. We talked about being graphic artists, videographers, and all of the other very substantial careers that are in the music industry that people can work towards achieving to be able to support artists. And these careers can last longer than the life of their clients, the artists. So we focused on those to be able to let children know that they don't necessarily always have to be the rapper or the singer or the musician or the beat maker or producer. You can have a very long-standing career in the music industry using basic fundamental skills.
It takes self-discipline. It takes want to. Getting up every day. Going out and working out. Like Coach said, not just dreaming all day, doing it. I want to make it to the league. Guess what? I'm gonna go outside and put in the work that I need to put in to get there. Put in that extra work. Be a reliable person. Consistency, respect. Tie it all in. Make it all one.
Right now, we have in America over 2 million individuals sitting in prison. Half of those individuals are African Americans. A large percentage of those individuals are African American males. African American males are 6 times more likely to be sentencing harsher than a white person. And I say it right there, a white person, because that's what we use the comparison to. Well, let me tell you a good number. This year, we have 2 million African American males in college. Did y'all hear what I said?
Just first want to just say how ecstatic I am about today's event. The number of males that showed up, the number of adult male sponsors that accompanied them, the charge that we had from our superintendent and board members, that endorsement by itself speaks volumes. But we know and believe we touched some lives today, and we didn't, as we made very clear, this is not an event, this is a campaign. And while we wanted to capture their attention, we also wanted to make them aware of the fact that we're not leaving them, that we're extending that olive branch, that we're going to build those relationships, and we're going to sustain the work that we started here. And we know that that is incumbent upon us to make sure that that continues in our school, that continues in our communities, that continues in our churches. So today was just the beginning. It was just the beginning of what we need to do. The call to action that our president issued years ago with the My Brother's Keeper initiative, we've taken him up on that challenge. And we have to continually to work hard and combine our efforts. That's from clergy, that's from politicians, that's from civic groups, that's from fraternities, sororities, foundations, as well as educators to make this happen, because it is our males that we're losing, and it is very obvious. It is a crisis, and we've got to do something about it.
Parent and family engagement are on location here at My Brother's Keepers Summit. We're here with some of our print-rich resources that are available for parents, linked to learning from cradle to career.
So we put together a great program. We had a great team of people. We had lots of workshops. I think Behind the Music and Healthy Teen Relationships was a winner.
Yes.
We also did leadership workshops and investing in your image. What else?
Well, we had some great workshops regarding interviews and getting ready for employment.
Yeah.
And also, I think one of the students enjoyed the opportunity to think about changing their thought patterns.
Yeah,
and how that can
training
help.
your brain.
That's right. It's really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and investing in your image.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we just had a great program today. We will continue to support MBK DeKalb, right? You can follow us on Twitter at DeKalb Schools, and also on Facebook, DeKalb County School District, and Instagram at DeKalb Schools.
Very true.
#MBK DeKalb.
Definitely. Stay tuned.